Hello, everyone. I'm Greg Weaver. Welcome to The Audio Analyst. I'm just back from a week's listening at GTT Audio in Long Valley, New Jersey. Aside from enjoying the amazing company and gracious hospitality of GTT principal Bill Parish, we spent a shiteload of time with our butts in listening chairs in two of his rooms. This week, I'm going to fill you in on my extended experiences with the production version of the KRONOS Perpetual Turntable that I first reported on here last April 14th with episode 170. The Perpetual just may be the most important and fully realized product to come from KRONOS mastermind Louis Desjardins since the introduction of the contrarotational principle that is the bedrock patented foundation of all his designs. Louis' first attempt at implementing a massive reduction of parasitic vibration and distortion came with the development of his enormously successful contra-rotating suspended dual platter approach, realized with the original Pro Limited Edition turntable officially launched at CES 2012. I was there and able to experience that launch in Vladimir Lamb's suite on the 35th floor of the Venetian during the 45th Annual Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in January of 2012. I was further quite honored to be invited for a private extended audition of Louis' all-out assault on LP playback, the KRONOS Discovery turntable, launched in the fall of 2021, which I reported on here with episode 56 on September 5th of that year. It was the result of a comprehensive and extensive re-examination and revisiting of every single design parameter and technique that he had developed and implemented in that original pioneering KRONOS Limited Edition Pro. And in my experience, the Discovery reset the bar for the absolute level of performance that is possible from a hyper audio LP playback system. Not only have I said that the KRONOS Discovery is the finest audio source I have ever had the pleasure of hearing, but it is one that, in my opinion, has ushered in a new level of musical experience and communication, establishing an innovative high-water benchmark for LP playback. It is truly a sui generis product, a machine that constitutes a class of its own. Now, we have the KRONOS Perpetual. While officially launched at High-End Munich in early May of 2024, today I'll introduce you to the production Perpetual. Here's the discussion I had with Bill about Perpetual last week. Let's give it a listen. Welcome, everyone. If you're a follower of the channel, you'll know this big guy. You'll know where we are. But this is Bill Parish. We're at GTT Audio in Long Valley, New Jersey. And right now, the star of what we're going to be talking about, which I introduced to you guys back last April after Easter in episode 170. This is the production KRONOS Perpetual Turntable, the turntable that I freaked out over. Visually, I think it's the perfect design from Louis. I mean, it's the perfect complement of all the tech and all the visuals in one. It's just gorgeous, and it's, well, that's what I think. Anyway.
Yeah, no, it's incredible.
And it's 60%-ish of the price of the Discovery, which changed my world. Dude, you know, when we did that episode way back, Discovery has been, I don't think there's a turntable on planet Earth that can touch most KRONOS to begin with, but I think Discovery sets a bar that a lot of people are going to be a long time trying to catch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think so as well. Obviously. Yeah.
And from my perspective, what I think is, I don't know how Louis will ever build a better turn. I'm not going to say he never will. I just don't suspect that's what's in his mind. And to me,
no, it definitely isn't. I mean, he's very comfortable with where he is today.
Discovery is a statement that it's going to be around for a while. I don't think anybody's going to beat it. But what I think is important about this particular turntable is at $70,000 versus $120,000, it's roughly 60% the cost of Discovery.
Yeah.
Now, I might talk to you if you call me and give you my percentage thoughts on this because it's pretty damn close. But even Louis said in April, last Easter, he said it was 90 or 95% of Discovery. I suspect that what really matters to me and why I want to bring you guys the information on this is he's taken that world-class performance and delivered a product at 60% of the cost that is so damn close to that. And I think, I think we need to see more of that in this industry. We don't need a $400,000 turntable, a $1 million turntable. We need turntables that we can afford that perform their ass off. And this, to me, exemplifies that model better than any other turntable I can think of.
The industry's gone a little nuts, Greg, with the pricing. And I think we need to see more of what Louis did with this turntable and with what AudioNet has done with their latest launch,
which we'll get to in another episode,
and start threading the needles, and then okay, so there's not going to be a Discovery Mark II, but if there's a Discovery Mark II, what is he supposed to do? Charge $150,000 for that? But if he comes out with this, and then he comes out with a Discovery Mark II, maybe it could be the same price.
Yeah.
And I gotta, when manufacturers set pricing, they're also always factoring in trade-ins and everything else, and
future business models.
And then some manufacturers don't do the straight calculation. The ones I represent do, but some are going, well, he's charging this, and I think I
can get away with that.
And so some of the stuff just makes no sense. But I think KRONOS has always been well grounded with pricing and giving a lot of
value for
a lot of performance and a lot of value.
I think it represents value per dollar. Yes, it's not cheap, but it's not exorbitant. It's not ridiculous. The best stuff you're going to hear today is not terribly cheap, but there's a level of performance and value with these products that, Louis has, I've had the pleasure of knowing Louis for going on since 2017 now. And dude, he's a tinkerer. He's never going to stop. No. There will probably be at some point a Discovery Mark II because he'll think of something, but I don't think it'll be as significant a change as we went from Pro to Discovery. Discovery represents such a bound.
And this is still a massive upgrade over Pro.
Oh, my God. All right, Bill. So would you be good enough to walk us through what's going on with Perpetual, how it works, what's going on with it?
Yeah, absolutely. Like all KRONOS pieces, everything's a la carte. And what we've been talking about thus far is the Perpetual Turntable, which is this, and this. Yeah. The top three platters is what we're talking about here. And this bottom piece is the Perpetual SCPS, which stands for the Super Capacitor Power Supply, which is an option for all KRONOS tables have their own.
I was just going to say, make sure these all have a Super Capacitor Power Supply in them.
Yes.
But and it's what's built in down here. But
well, and actually, so Louis also puts a super cap board inside the main control board of the Perpetual. So we're sort of got we're doubling up.
Super capacitor power supply.
We're doubling up, and he found that it makes a huge difference. Now down below at the bottom of the rack, which this, by the way, is a KRONOS rack, which is part of it as well, an option. But down below, which is included with the Perpetual, is a gorgeous box, which I'm sure you'll be popping up here on the screen, which is a power supply.
Right.
That's the AC to DC converter, if you will.
Right.
Yeah. And then you need a tone arm.
Yes.
which will be, there's a Chronoscope RS and there's the Discovery RS,
Which is what I've been using on my Pro for a while. Thank you very much.
That's
What a
right.
great
That's
toner.
right. I mean, we sell both of them, but interesting enough, the Discovery RS is what we've sold
The most of
Oh, I think like 8 to 2.
Wow.
Yeah, like 80% of them are
Yeah.
discoveries. I mean, almost everybody's
Yeah.
buying discoveries. And Chronoscopes RSs are phenomenal.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But the well,
Didn't
a table like this deserves the best.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But didn't Maurice Jeffries just do a review on the
Oh, he sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now
I'll put a link of that in here
and
today.
he's got the Sparta 0.5, and I think he's looking to go up the.
He wants to go to a full Sparta.
Yeah. We might even get him a Pro.
Well, he'd not mind that. Trust me.
But I know he wants to climb up the
he wants the full Contrarotation.
Yeah,
he wants to experience
ladder. With Kronos, it's addictive. I mean,
it
once
is.
you go Kronos, it's hard
There's something about this Contrarotation thing. There's a degree of mid-range clarity and focus and microdynamic resolution that I don't get with any other turntable that I've heard.
No turntable.
There's a neutrality. It's not just the microdynamic differences are remarkable. What you hear down by the noise floor is completely different, but it's not just that. That's just one of the bigger things.
No, I mean, the mid-range is no turntable can do the mid-range.
Yeah.
But don't think it's mid-range heavy,
it's not,
because it's not.
That's not what
we just sat in these chairs we sat and listened to Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Well, we listened to so much stuff.
Cat People.
I should get my list out because
bass was going through the floor.
The impact. So let's talk about what the sound is like on this thing.
And we're on a suspended floor.
Yeah, that's true. The floor in the studio here is a suspended floor. The room is pretty good sized. Hang on a second. Let me get some notes here because I want to tell you what kind of things we listen to.
Yeah.
The room is 23. Well, there's an extra space that goes back another 3 feet, but it's 23 by 17 by 9. It's pretty good sized room.
Yeah, 17 by 23.
Yep. But we listen to so much stuff. I mean, God, from Lyle Lovett to David Bowie, from Beethoven to Nirvana. We listen to so much stuff. And
Beethoven's Ninth was pretty.
Oh my God, yeah. And what's amazing to me is its ability to get out of its own way and resurrect and recover information that you don't always hear with really expensive turntables. Because, and again, it's not just the Contrarotation. There's other things that he's doing with this table, with resonance control, especially with the tone arms. But there's a degree of immediacy with Perpetual that is so close to what we hear downstairs with Discovery, and we'll get to that in a bit. But dude, I mean, there's no way anybody could say $70,000 is an affordable turntable. Okay, that's not the point.
No.
But the true point is that for what you're paying for this turntable, I'm willing to say publicly that there isn't another turntable on planet Earth at $70,000 or twice that I've heard that has both the degree of emotive expressiveness. I mean, you get drawn into the music and the nuance and not just transparency and resolution, but the nuance that this thing shares in terms of the subtleties of performance. We were talking about left and right hand performances with piano, and it's just spectacular how immediately you can pick up.
You hear it all in this system. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, you sit there and you like to talk about the differences between recordings, and KRONOS makes that.
It's immediately apparent.
Yeah, a lot more evident.
Yeah, it's immediately apparent that this was mic'd this way, that this was in a different room. We were listening to the same record. That's not the same studio or the same room that they recorded that in. It's different. So, but yeah, it's a spectacular turntable, and on top of all of it, as good as it is, I don't think there's a sexier looking turntable on planet. Don't get me wrong, Discovery's neat. Discovery looks like, oh my God, but this is just sexy.
Well, this may be
This is just
KRONOS's most mature product.
I think it is. It clearly is.
And I would say it's their most important product.
Yeah, probably.
Where it's priced, how he was able to thread the needle between what has come before it with the Pro and the Sparta versus the Discovery, and be able to get it right where he wanted to get him. I mean, the goal is thread to split the difference, and he came in just under 60%. So he did a really good job, a really good job.
Well, and then
the performance level.
The performance is through the freaking roof.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, this wouldn't have happened without Discovery.
Oh,
this took everything he knew and learned about Discovery that he was able to find a way to make it more affordable.
This has Discovery, Pro, and Sparta in it.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. But I've had an overwhelming response,
I'm sure,
from the guys out there as far as the aesthetic. Yeah.
That was the first thing, even when we were up in Canada.
You just said
last
that it's
April.
The prettiest or the best.
Sexiest. It's the sexiest looking table on planet Earth.
It is.
So we're going to talk about some other products, but I wanted to take some time to explain how significant a product this is, and to voice my opinion that I hope more manufacturers will take this approach. Instead of trying to build the next best mousetrap, let's build the next best thing we can build and make it a little more affordable than just throwing another $100,000 on top of something.
Yeah. Let's
it's
make
ridiculous.
Things more obtainable.
Yeah, really. Bill, thanks so much, buddy.
Guys, thanks for tuning in.
Talk to you again
Greg,
soon.
Thanks for coming.
Buddy, thanks for having me. This is always a blast. So, more soon, guys. As the logical conflation of all that he learned during the creation of Discovery, Perpetual brings so very much of that pinnacle experience to the LP playback party at some 60% of Discovery's price. It implements the same motor towers and platters, as well as that slight outward slant to the alignment of the O-rings near the top of each of its 4 suspension towers. Leveraging lessons learned with Discovery, it capitalizes on the advantages offered by the symmetrical central placement of the platters, rather than the more common shifting of them ever so slightly to the left. The controller offers power and speed selection, the current charge status of each of its internal supercapacitor banks, as well as the ability to dim or turn off the displays. In the end, though configured to mount only one tone arm, the Perpetual is 1 inch wider than the original Pro and 5 inches narrower than Discovery. With Perpetual, along with his choice to maximize the benefits realized with the use of fewer parts, his vision employed the fabrication of plinths of phenolic layers above and below a central layer of aluminum. This design allows for the realization of the crucial assembly interrupts and minimizes connectivity and contact between adjacent components, and further allows for the use of differing torques across the entire assembly. All these methods contribute significantly to the successful disruption of vibration and resonance in Perpetual's chassis. The newly redesigned power supply uses a huge transformer from True Life Audio of Greece, his partners in the production of the KRONOS phono stages, and affects a supercapacitor bank for each platter, ensuring the Perpetual's controller provides greater isolation of the corrupting backward electromotive force, or EMF, generated by each of Perpetual's motors. And like the original Pro LE and Sparta, there is an available optional supercapacitor power supply similar to that of Discovery. In terms of the ability to resolve and present pitch definition down into the subsonic strata, I had never even dared to imagine what these KRONOS machines routinely deliver could be possible. Their performance in this area alone establishes a new benchmark. Add to this the Perpetual's ability to regenerate exceptionally faithful timbre, its effortlessness, naturalness, and highly nuanced expressiveness, especially of microdynamic shading and detail, and its utterly enchanting capability to render authentic tonality, engaging textures, and the physical corporality of human and instrumental voices. And you only begin to understand its prowess. After my dedicated and considerable time listening to Louis' new world-class KRONOS Perpetual Table, it has become clear to me that while Discovery still unquestionably holds the high bar, the Perpetual's staggeringly close performance represents a degree of value utterly unavailable from any other LP playback system known to me at this time. Period. The degree of Perpetual's performance, combined with its visually arresting appearance, establish it as an instant classic. As I mentioned in my conversation with Bill this week, the fact that Louis has chosen to focus on bringing the lion's share of the unassailable performance from Discovery to listeners at some 60% of Discovery's asking price is not only to be lauded and seen as commendable, but maybe, just maybe, could be indicative of a newly established sense of right thinking, one that will begin to permeate other manufacturers in the audio industry. It would be so exciting to see all manufacturers begin to follow this path rather than continuing down the unsupportable and maddening current trend of trying to con you into buying this year's new and marginally improved version of last year's latest and greatest, all for a paltry $100,000 more than that previous model. Such absurd sales models are simply unsustainable, and people are fed up with them. The KRONOS Perpetual is not only an exquisite-looking, exceptionally performing source, it is setting a new standard of production value for music-loving audiophiles everywhere. As always, thank you for taking the time to drop by today. Further information on supporting the channel may be found in today's description section or at my website, theaudioanalyst.com. Please stay safe and keep the music playing. Till next time, cheers.